folks, welcome back. Another video. Happy to see you here. So, here's the thing. Anyone who knows anything about me, the number one thing they know is my greatest fear is the ocean. Like, it's always a no-go. Do you want to go on a boat? No. Do you want to go fishing for sharks? No. But now I have some evidence to back up my fear. So today's video, we're going to discuss 15 most dangerous ocean creatures. So now, it's not an irrational fear. It's a logically founded idea. Let's take a look.
Ocean is a pretty dangerous place, be it the map.
See, off rip. The ocean is a pretty dangerous place, folks. And that's just 5 seconds into the video.
Massive waves, strong currents, or freezing waters. Oceans really do have the potential to dispose of you in an instant. Today, we're venturing into the murky waters. Here are the top 15 most dangerous types of fish ever found. Number 15, needlefish. Measuring in at just 1 meter long and weighing just 4 kilograms, needlefish are a lot more dangerous than they look. That's because these fish not only have a long, sharp, and bony beak, but also have a tendency to leap out of the water at its speeds of up to 60 kilometers per hour. Unfortunately, this has made them a true terror in their Indian and Pacific Ocean habitats, as they're attracted to lights from boats and will often leap out and impale unsuspecting sailors. As a result, they are widely considered to be even more dangerous than sharks to fishermen who work in needlefish-infested areas.
So you're telling me that this fish can go so fast that if it tries to headbutt me, it can pierce my skin? Would you want me to be in the water? Listen, here's my philosophy. The fish doesn't come into my home messing with me. Why should I go into their home messing with them? Just throwing that out there.
Number 14, stingray. As the name suggests, stingrays stand out due to them having a stinger near the base of their tail. And while they are usually docile, they don't hesitate to use said stinger when they're threatened. Typically speaking, this only occurs with humans if one is accidentally stepped on, as they tend to burrow under the sand as camouflage in order to ambush prey. Unfortunately, these stings are usually extremely painful and often cause secondary symptoms such as local tissue death, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and muscle cramps. Yet, while smaller stingrays likely will not kill you, larger species can pose a very real threat. Most notably, famed ecologist Steve Irwin learned this the hard way in 2006, when he unfortunately passed away after coming into contact with a 2-meter-long bull stingray. As a result, we'd recommend swimming in the other direction if you see one on your next tropical vacation.
Now, see, I will say, the main reason that I have to call it a healthy fear, but also a respect for any animal, is Steve Irwin. Steve Irwin was a great, huge part of my childhood, just learning about animals. The reason why school seemed fun is because I had already had this foundation based on different shows like Kratts Creatures, Steve Irwin, where just learning was fun. So now that I'm older and I actually understand what's going on when these people are educating me about these animals, I'm like, yeah, nature is great. It can be scary, but great. Videos like this, while yes, it is delving into the hazards and the dangers, it's also very educational. So in the event that I come across any of these animals, I kind of have an idea of what to expect and how to be respectful so I don't end up on a milk carton.
Number 13, giant moray eel. Although there are over 200 different species of moray eel, the giant moray eel is certainly the most troublesome. Found throughout the Indian and Pacific Oceans, they can reach up to 3 meters in length and weigh as much as 30 kilograms. While they're not all that aggressive due to them spending most of their time in the burrows, they can do some serious damage when divers attempt to feed them, as they will sometimes lunge forward and bite off the fingers of said divers. As a result, we'd recommend staying far, far away from them on your next scuba diving adventure.
Well, I'm
Number
scuba
12.
diving, sir, so you're fine.
Found in the oceans worldwide, the barracuda is an apex predator that has the potential.
Okay, first of all, are we not gonna talk? Why would I get near? Look at the teeth on this thing. It looks like it's taking off 2 fingers minimum if it bites me. Why? Also, I don't know if it's the picture or what. This is a large fish. Like, look at the size of this thing. Oh my goodness. That thing swam up to me. I'm like, hey, listen, this is your home. I'll leave, buddy. You got it. This is all you.
To dish some serious damage. Reaching lengths of up to 2 meters and weights of up to 50 kilograms, the barracuda is absolutely massive.
Oh my god,
Also
look at
sports a set
that.
of sharp teeth in order to chomp down on its prey. Now, generally speaking, barracudas are harmless to us humans, as they typically only attack other fish. However, in murky waters, they have been known to bite the arms and legs of humans after mistaking them for the underbelly of a fish. They've also been known to chomp down on shiny objects such as belt buckles, necklaces, and earrings. As a result, these beastly barracudas really can be quite bothersome. Number 11. Anglerfish. When it comes to deep-sea creatures, few are as frightening as the anglerfish. Although only about the
God,
size of a
that is
coffee cup, they have a pretty frightening appearance.
this is the
With
picture of
200 different species
nightmares.
of them,
Oh
each
my
carrying a
goodness.
common lure that hangs off their front end. It uses this lure to attract prey. Once said prey is close enough, it will clamp down onto it with its impressive set of teeth. However, while anglerfish are certainly extremely dangerous to fish, they live too far below the sea for them to ever come into contact with humans. Regardless, we think you'd agree that this is probably for the best.
Yes, I agree.
Number 10. Box jellyfish. While getting a sting from most species of jellyfish would be painful, the box jellyfish definitely takes it up a notch. That's because these feisty fish, which are found throughout the Indian and Pacific Oceans, administer one of the most toxic stings in the world. Now, as far as jellyfish go, box jellyfish are pretty massive, coming in at about 10 feet long. Their tentacles have about 5,000 stinging cells each, and each are equipped with a toxin that attacks the heart, nervous system, and skin cells. Unfortunately, said toxin is so painful that human victims have been known to either go into shock and drown, or die of heart failure mere moments after coming into contact with one.
Oh my goodness.
Yet even if you do survive, you can expect to experience considerable pain for weeks. There's often significant scarring where the tentacles made contact with your skin. As a result, we'd suggest swimming in the other direction if you see one of these in the water during your next beach vacation. Number 9. Killer whales. A mainstay at parks such as SeaWorld and Marineland, killer whales.
First off, I feel like movies and scenarios like this have kind of blanketed the nature of orcas, but to my knowledge, they are apex predators and they will attack almost anything in the ocean. And correct me if I'm wrong, comment down below, but these things are known to take out great whites. So anything that can box up, in a neat, container, a great white, is not something I think I want to contend with. That's just me. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's a me thing.
Whales are certainly one of the most impressive fish on the planet. Typically coming in at a length of about 6 to 8 meters and a weight in excess of 6 tons, they truly are massive. And it turns out that they are not in fact whales, but instead the largest member of the dolphin family.
Oh.
Regardless, they are strong hunters. Typically
Did not know that.
in packs and going after seals, cod, and at times even minke whales. Unfortunately, they have a tendency to attack humans. However, in the wild, these assaults are very rare. Instead, it's when killer whales are put into captivity that they become deadly. as they will sometimes lash out against their trainers out of frustration, stress, or loneliness, often leading to serious injuries and at times even death as a result. These attacks certainly have given killer whale shows a bad rap in recent years.
I'll
We
say,
are constantly
let's just be honest. Killer whale shows have given killer whale shows a bad rap. But that's neither here nor there.
adding more people to the Top 5's production team to bring you all the best content. Great. Coral, the reef stonefish, is one of the most toxic. Just like button. Or a lump of coral, the reef stonefish is one of the most toxic fish in the world. Found in coral reefs throughout the Indian and Pacific Oceans, it's a master of disguise.
I've heard about this fish before. I heard it's extremely...
It is while it's
Is
on
it
the sea floor that it
venomous?
hunts, quickly swimming and catching unsuspecting prey at rapid speeds that are so rapid.
Is it venomous or poisonous?
The reef stonefish
I can't
attack
remember.
often lasts as little as 0.015 seconds. However, while these fish are usually not a danger to humans, they very well can be if threatened. That's because they have 13 dorsal fins on their spine that contain a highly toxic venom.
There we go.
This venom leading
There's the
to
answer.
severe
Venomous.
pain, heart failure, and even death if left untreated. Luckily, since 1959, there have been an anti-venom that can treat stonefish stings, and it's also said that putting a wounded area in hot water can help soothe the pain. Yet given that they only sting if stepped on or otherwise touched in any way, it's pretty easy to steer clear of them while snorkeling or scuba diving, so long as you keep your hands off the reef.
Can do.
7. Goliath tigerfish.
Oh my god.
While most of the fish on this list only attack humans if provoked, the Goliath tigerfish stands apart for having actively attacked humans on a number of occasions. Found throughout the Congo River Basin, the Goliath tigerfish is rather large, growing to lengths of about 1.5
Oh
meters
my
and weighs up to
God.
about 50 kilograms. It hunts by ambushing small fish, speeding
Well,
up to them and clamping down
luckily,
on them with a large set of teeth.
I don't think I'll ever be
Each tooth
found
typically
in
growing
their
as much as
habitat,
1
so
inch
we're
long.
good.
As a result, it shouldn't come as a surprise that the local name for the species is the Mbenga, which means the dangerous fish in Swahili. Yet what makes the Goliath tigerfish really dangerous is the fact that it will often attack prey much larger than itself. As such,
Oh,
has
so it doesn't care.
routinely assaulted both crocodiles and humans.
Oh, so it doesn't
And
care.
stories abound throughout the Congo River Basin of attacks from this nasty creature. As a result, we'd recommend staying far away from this body of water, unless you'd like to become its next victim.
Nope, I'm okay. I'm good.
Number 6.
I'm safe.
Red-bellied piranhas.
Oh.
Throughout the Amazon River, there are packs of predatory fish known as red-bellied piranhas. These crazy carnivores, which grow to lengths of about 50 centimeters and weigh in at about 5 kilograms, are notable because they are not only meat eaters but also have extremely sharp sets of teeth. Typically, they use said teeth to chase down small prey such as worms, crustaceans, and fish, and in fact will often scavenge for plants and insects in order to meet their dietary needs. However, when food is scarce, piranhas will at times gang together to take down large prey in what is known as a feeding frenzy, usually eating up said large individual within minutes. The victim will typically be an animal such as a capybara or an egret. However, in some cases, the victim will unfortunately be a human, and although such occurrences are extremely rare, they have unfortunately led to some very horrific deaths. Number 5. Swordfish.
Okay, again, based on my knowledge, which is very limited, I also know like it has to be like an extreme circumstance for piranhas to attack people. I'm sure they'll probably never let you bite you if you're getting away, but for the most part, I think that they just kind of try to avoid things bigger than them. But I could be wrong. Again, I could be wrong about a lot of this. But I think piranhas, I think the movies give them a semi-bad rap. And I say semi just because it did say they can attack people, obviously. But I don't think like it's like in every time. I think 8 times out of 10 they try to avoid humans, I believe. Is what I've read and heard.
As the name suggests, swordfish are definitely one of the sharper fish out there. That's because their sword-shaped bills are extremely honed and durable, and are typically used to hunt down smaller fish. However, rather than impale their prey with their swords, they typically use them as scythes, slashing through small schools of fish in order to knock them out and gobble them up. While their fast speeds and ferocious hunting style are no real danger to humans, swordfish can be quite the hazard when they're harpooned. That's because when impaled, they will typically jump or dive in such a way that could damage a boat or injure a human. Unfortunately, a Hawaiian man by the name of Randy Lames found this out the hard way in 2015, when he became the first recorded person to be killed by one of these creatures.
That is a
He had
big
shot one with his
fish.
harpoon when by
Oh my
instinct, the swordfish
goodness.
jumped up, and in the process,
I think that's the thing that gets me, is just how big some of these fish are. Like, I think TV doesn't do it justice, but when you see a side-by-side picture with that and a full-grown man, you're like, oh my goodness. I think it's huge. Why would we ever want to mess with them? Leave them be. They're not bothering anybody. But then when they do bother you, they'll kill you. Or can kill you, I should say. Leave them alone.
punctured Lambs in the chest, leading to him to later passing away in the hospital. This just goes to show how dangerous swordfish truly are.
Look at that. Look how
It
small.
turns out that swordfish are much more dangerous when they're out of the water than when they're inside of it. This is because their meat contains very high levels of mercury,
Oh.
and this is of special concern to pregnant women. Turns out that long-term swordfish consumption can cause mercury to accumulate in your bloodstream over time, and that if too much mercury is in a pregnant woman's bloodstream, it could damage a baby's developing brain and nervous system. As a result, we suggest you stay far away from this mercury-high fish dish if you're expecting a child anytime soon.
I'm just gonna stay away
4.
from it in general.
Pufferfish. While pufferfish may not be the largest or fastest fish out there, their ability to puff up and poison their predators makes them extremely dangerous. Now, pufferfish typically only inflate when they feel threatened, as their puffed up persona makes them look like a giant ball of spikes, which isn't exactly appetizing for a would-be predator. Additionally, their spikes contain a neurotoxin known as tetrodotoxin, which can cause paralysis, seizures, and even death in humans.
Look at his eyes.
To make matters worse, the neurotoxin is not only up to 1,200 times more poisonous than cyanide, it's also
Jesus.
so abundant in the pufferfish that just one has the ability to kill up to 30 adult humans.
Oh my.
When you then further consider that there is no antidote for a pufferfish's neurotoxins, it becomes clear that they should probably be avoided. Interestingly, however, there is a Japanese delicacy known as fugu that turns the pufferfish into a delectable dish. Having
I'm
been
okay.
eaten by the
I'll
Japanese
pass.
for over 2,000 years, fugu is a mainstay
There's a
in
lot of
Japanese culture.
things in
However,
Japan I
recent
want to
years, it
eat,
has
and
been
that's not
heavily
going to be one of them.
regulated by the
I
state.
just
Ever since
feel like my
1958,
luck.
chefs had to obtain a
I,
license
that
in
that's
order to
it would get me.
prepare fugu.
Yep.
This involves first completing a 2-year apprenticeship under a certified fugu chef, and then undertaking an examination. The first 2 hours of said examination is written, but afterwards, there's a 3-minute fugu identification component and a 20-minute fugu preparation component. However, considering that only about 35% of the applicants pass, the license certainly isn't easy to obtain. Regardless, even though these chefs are highly trained, you would undoubtedly be taking a pretty big risk if you chose to consume a pufferfish.
I can't do
Number
it.
3. Lionfish. While the vibrant patterns, bright colors, and
Now, see,
interesting shape-
I hear a lot about lionfish. While they're very pretty, like the only thing I ever hear about them is if one stings you, that's it. It is done. It is over. I know don't they get rather large themselves as well? Hold on, let's find out. Let's see.
But a lionfish may make them one of the most beautiful fish on this list. This certainly doesn't make them any less
Oh
dangerous.
my god, that one's
Coming from the
huge.
South Pacific and Indian Oceans, there are 12 species of lionfish out there, all of
Really?
which feast on shrimp and smaller fish. However, when threatened, they'll make use of the poisonous spikes that they have across their back, pelvis, and underside.
Okay, so these are poisonous. It's wild that they have the same, I guess, way to administer things, but some have venom and some have poison. Well, let's see something. Let's find out. Let's see. Poison is a toxin that gets into the body by inhaling, swallowing, or absorption through skin. Venomous, it's when the toxin is injected into you. Okay, poison is a toxin, swallowing, absorption. Venom when it's injected. So then would the lionfish not be venomous by that definition? Also, please excuse my reading. It's recording this at 3 o'clock in the morning, so my brain has functionally turned off for the night. I apologize. Sorry. All right, let's get back into it. Wasting time.
Being filled with toxin, being stung with said spikes can cause intense pain and sweating, and in extreme cases, respiratory distress and paralysis in humans. Luckily, there is a rather simple cure for lionfish stings.
Oh.
As one must simply remove the spines and soak the wound in hot water to help break down the toxins.
Oh.
If this treatment is performed, then the pain from the sting typically subsides after 1 or 2 days. However, if it's not treated in time, then it's far less effective. Yet what makes lionfish even more worrisome is that they're an invasive species.
Oh,
appearing in
really?
densities of over 350 fish per hectare on some reefs.
Okay, so
They have spread across
they're not
the eastern seaboard
as-
and the Mediterranean. This is problematic.
I mean,
because
they
not
can
only
be
have no
fatal, of course,
predators outside
but they're
the
not
Indo-Pacific,
as
but they
like
also have a
fatal
voracious
as
appetite, and most notably decimated
I
about
originally
65 to
thought.
95% of the endemic small reef fish
I thought
in
it
the
was like
Bahamas
a
in just a
instant,
30-year time frame.
hey,
As a result, we
I'm
can expect
sorry
issues
type deal,
regarding
okay.
these feisty fish to continue to skyrocket if their overpopulation is not addressed soon. Number 2, Candiru.
I've never
Found
heard
in
of
the
this.
depths of the Amazon, the Candiru is a fish that is very small but incredibly mighty, measuring in at about 17 centimeters in length. And being clear
Maybe I
in
have heard
color,
of this. Hold on.
It's very hard to spot and is widely known as a vampire fish due to its tendency to swim into the gills of smaller fish and live off them like a parasite. However, while the reports on the subject are shaky, there's quite a bit of anecdotal evidence to suggest that Candirus have another target: humans.
Okay.
In particular, reports specify that Candirus have a tendency to swim into human private parts, with urethras being the most common place of attack.
Okay, so I have
It is
heard of
said that
this.
once there, they will latch on to its walls with barbs.
So,
Said spikes only
in the
drive
Amazon,
deeper into
they
them if
tell
you try
you
to pull one out. As a
not
result, while
to
some
pee into the
suggested
water
remedies
because
do
these
exist,
fish
many
can
historical
swim
accounts
up
suggest just
your
cutting the
urine
offending
into your
member off
urethra.
in order to relieve yourself of the pain.
Oh.
Luckily, however, the actual empirical evidence attesting to Candiru attacks remains limited. In fact, many scientists today believe that these were just sensationalized stories, and that if a Candiru were to swim up your private parts, it would be completely by accident, as they would not survive for long after having done so.
Oh.
Regardless, we'd still suggest staying far away from the Amazon's murky waters, just in case. After all, you never know if a cruel Candiru will make you their next target.
Yeah, don't want to find
Number
out.
1.
But also,
Great white sharks. Although great white sharks are not quite as dangerous as movies like Jaws and Sharknado make them out to be, they definitely still are one of the most dangerous animals out there. Measuring as long as 6 meters and typically weighing in at more than 2.5 tons, it's pretty clear that the great white is massive. Unsurprisingly, it therefore uses its sheer power and 300 serrated teeth to its advantage,
300. Oh my.
attacking prey such as sea lions, seals, small-toothed whales, and sea turtles.
Okay.
It turns out that at times humans also make their way onto the menu. And while sharks don't actually like the taste of humans, they often mistake them for seals. However, after they take one bite and realize their mistake, they generally swim away. Unfortunately, this really is rather weak assurance, as even one bite is enough to severely maim or even kill a human. Yet with only about 30 to 35 great white shark attacks occurring per year, the chances of you coming face to face with one are rather low.
Okay, this one must have
As a
been
result, if we
attacked
crunch
because
the
he's
numbers, it
cut
seems
up
that
pretty
it really
badly.
is the sharks who should be scared of us. That's because if we include all types of sharks, humans kill a total of 100 million of them every single year. In other words, between 6.4 and 7.9% of their entire population. Primary reason for this shark slaughter is thanks to the demand for shark fin soup from many Asian countries, where it's a delicacy that's so expensive that just one bowl of it can cost upwards of $100.
Oh no.
As a result, conservation efforts are being made around the world to ensure that these sharks remain in our oceans and stay off our dinner plates. That's all we have for you today, everyone. Thank you.
Okay, so that was pretty good learning experience, and I think I have a greater appreciation. Still a healthy fear of the ocean, but I have also have a greater appreciation for these animals that they should be respected. Like, I'm not gonna just start messing with these animals because, especially in their environment, in their territory, they could take me out if they wanted to, if they so choose. However, like now having this knowledge, it's great. It lets me know, like, hey, I should probably avoid this situation or that situation, just because I'd be putting myself in danger, and then it would end up giving these animals a bad name, and which isn't fair because I'm the one who encroached on their territory. What I say, this is a very interesting video, and I think that's what I want to do. Leave in the comments what else you'd like to learn about. There's several things, other videos I have in mind, and I would love your input. If there's anything you guys want to see that we can learn about together, please let me know. But until the next video,